Imagine if car manufacturers were spending 98% of their energy and money on building stronger engines and 2% of their energy and money on steering systems and brakes. That would be crazy. That would result in very dangerous cars. Well, that's exactly the situation that we have with AI today. My name is Michael Bess, and I study the intersection of AI and society. It's unusual for a historian because I've become much more comfortable with drawing dotted lines into the future. A lot of my work has focused on how can we strengthen these international instruments for coordination and cooperation so that we can regulate dangerous technologies more effectively than we have in the past. I first got interested in AI by watching sci-fi movies and reading sci-fi novels. Good sci-fi asks deep philosophical questions. It's not just about the technology and how it works, it's how would a society be affected, how would it be altered if this new technological capability were to come into being. What started to happen is a lot of these technologies have come into reality, and in some cases much sooner than anyone would have expected. These are not conscious machines with emotions and the same type of consciousness that we have, but they're going to be emulating the kinds of agency, decision-making, strategizing, all these things that will render them so powerful and useful to us in beneficial ways. But it's also going to inevitably make them more autonomous agents that can start to do things that maybe we hadn't predicted or wanted. And the big problem is nations and corporations are racing with each other for ever more powerful forms of AI. And yet there are no international instruments or tools for regulating or cooperating to rein in how these new kinds of machines get built and how they get used. I think there are elements in AI, in how AI will be deployed within our social and economic systems around the world that echo powerful new technologies that came into being in the past. The best example of that would be the nuclear weapons and how we were able, despite some hair-raising near misses, how we were able to avoid a nuclear war during the Cold War. So AI, in that sense, is playing into this age-old human struggle for competitive dominance and power. You're starting to see an awareness that we have an ethical responsibility, just like the Manhattan Project scientists had an ethical responsibility when they were building the nuclear weapons. You're starting to see a call for common ground rules that we can agree on. It's in everybody's interest to follow all around the world just to keep us all safe. Being aware of what's already been accomplished and how far we've already come, what that can do is give you the sense of, well, let's roll up our sleeves now, and where can each of us as an individual make a contribution toward solving these problems, toward rising to the challenge. Human agency, the capacity to shape history, is still very much part of our world. I think it's a big mistake to underestimate just how much of a say we have as the present generation in influencing what's going to happen over the coming decades, over the coming century.